you doing to my car, mate?
What does it look like? I'm christening a lion cub. I'm Rafiki.
I don't give a fuck about your fucking lion cub christening. Do it on someone else's fucking car. I've got to be at work in 5 fucking minutes.
I need to film my Lion King's opening sketch. It's really important. I'm not getting massive going lately. Really important. I can't see him. He's doing the...
I'm gonna fucking kill you, mate.
Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here. When Disney's The Lion King came out in cinemas, it was a huge box office and critical success. But over the years, many people have called it overrated. So, does it deserve all this praise? Well, let's find out. The Lion King is a loose animated adaptation of Shakespeare's Hamlet. In this film, the mighty King Mufasa tells his son Prince Simba that he'll take the throne one day, much to the annoyance of his uncle Scar. In a bid to claim the throne, Scar joins forces with some evil hyenas to kill Simba and Mufasa. Scar tricks little Simba into staying in one spot, while the hyenas set off a stampede of wildebeest, which Simba gets stuck in. Scar tells Mufasa about Simba being caught in a stampede, only for Mufasa to realise that it's a trap, and the king is killed by his own brother. With Simba still alive, Scar manipulates the poor boy into believing that he killed his own father and should run away. Scar then orders the hyenas to slay the little cub, but he luckily gets away. He's later found by a meerkat called Timon and a warthog called Pumbaa, who both raise Simba in their paradise jungle. Years pass, Scar has now taken over Mufasa's kingdom of Pride Rock, and he's ruined everything. Simba's childhood friend Nala goes in search of food in Timon and Pumbaa's jungle, only to discover a grown-up Simba. It's up to Nala and the wise, eccentric monkey Rafiki to convince Simba to return to the throne. But it won't be easy, as Simba still feels the need to blame himself for his father's death. The impressive thing about The Lion King is its sheer, overwhelming scale. The movie frames the African savannah as this truly majestic land, a place of breathtaking emotion and wondrous magnitude. It's this world building that supports the Shakespearean drama of the film's story, giving it this powerful weight and importance. What could be seen as just another day for these wildlife animals is turned into a lavish theatrical production. The filmmakers went out of their way to visit Africa themselves, and you can really feel the inspiration in every frame of animation. The Tale of the Lion King explores many thematic elements, which adds layers to its simple story of royal treason, like the subject of heritage. You see, Mufasa teaches little Simba the value of respecting nature's circle of life and the purpose of lions in the animal kingdom. There's weight to this tradition because it's been passed down from king to prince for many generations. So, when Simba later shuns his role as king, he's also being disrespectful towards his father's teachings, and devaluing everything his father worked towards as a parent.
Simba, you have forgotten me.
No. How could I?
You have forgotten who you are, and so forgotten me.
As Simba dearly loves and looks up to his dad, finding out that he's let him down is bound to eat him up inside. Many films like to look at tradition as something that needs to be rebelled against, but sometimes it's good to see the other side and explore characters who take family honour and pride seriously. The Lion King tackles many mature themes like heritage, impressively adding complex dimensions and thought-provoking lessons to what's essentially Hamlet with lions. Topics like accepting death, what it means to be king, how family doesn't always have to be blood-related, and how slip-ups can lead to self-improvement. Although, some have argued that the film's finale ruins the movie for them. You see, when Simba returns to Pride Rock, he's put on trial for Mufasa's death, and Scar walks him towards the edge of the rock. People have criticised this moment for implying that Simba deserved to go back and pay for a crime he didn't commit, because the lionesses don't step in to stop Scar from executing Simba. They only take down Scar once he admits that he's the true murderer. While I can see this point of view, I'm a little more forgiving towards the lionesses, because they're bound to be in shock at this point. They're currently having to accept the facts that Simba has returned from the dead, might be responsible for their former king's death, and is suddenly on a trial being conducted by the manipulative Scar. It's a bit harsh to expect the lionesses to jump straight into action and not let them adjust to what's happening. I mean, if I was them, I'd be pretty taken back too. They're most likely overwhelmed by the confusing situation and uncertain about whether they really know Simba. And Scar's sneaky attempts at silencing Simba don't help matters either.
He admits it. Murderer.
No, it was an accident.
If it weren't for you, Mufasa would still be alive. It's your fault he's dead. Do you deny it?
No.
Then you're guilty.
No, I'm not a murderer.
Oh, Simba, you're in trouble again. But this time, Daddy isn't here to save you.
It's Scar's confession to murdering Mufasa that gives him that nudge to be more certain about the truth and accept what's happening. I think the problem is in the execution. The camera is more focused on the confrontation between Simba and Scar and less on the lionesses. Besides showing Nala scream out Simba's name as he slips from the rock, the attention is mainly on the nephew and uncle. This means that we don't get to see how the lionesses are handling the situation, making us assume that maybe they don't care about what's happening. Despite this roughly handled climax though, The Lion King is still a grandiose film with lots of interesting layers. I'm going to give 4 points to the content. Simba may not have the most interesting personality, but what he lacks in charisma he makes up for in character growth. He starts out as a spoilt prince who thinks highly of himself, with a very naive idea about what it means to be a king. But the characters he meets or reunites with shape him into the potential king he's destined to be. His arc is compelling because we're watching a pampered cub growing into a humble lion. Scar is a great villain. Not only is he delightfully fun and campy, but he's also truly menacing at times. There are loads of shots that help frame him as a legitimate threat and a creepy presence. While it is easy for Scar to manipulate Simba because he's just a naive cub, I think we should give him credit for wording his trickery carefully, to avoid Simba telling anyone, "Uncle Scar told me to do it." That's what makes Scar so scary. He's highly cunning and he knows it. Sure, he becomes a whiny man-child once he gains power, but that's the point. His immature and irresponsible take on leadership helps demonstrate the king that Simba could have become if he never grew up. Yeah, he's less entertaining now that he's lazy, but it's a great way of illustrating how being self-driven can make you a terrible leader. Now, many have complained about Scar ordering his hyenas to kill Simba after Mufasa's death instead of doing it himself, when the hyenas failed to kill Simba early on in the film. However, the way I see it, the hyenas have redeemed themselves after executing the stampede effectively. And it makes sense that a snobby lion who sees himself as high class would look down on killing a little lion cub as beneath his standards. So of course he'd want to get someone else's paws dirty. Mufasa is a very noble and brave king, but he also makes for an amazing father. He takes the time to teach his son about their culture and the inevitability of death, but he's also very stern with Simba if he ever gets out of line. However, he's not a cold stick in the mud. He's willing to joke with his son, open up about his own fears, and even be up for playing rough with him. Mufasa's wonderful take on fatherhood and badass courage makes him incredibly lovable, which is what gives his death such a heartbreaking impact. But he's not an entirely perfect king. That'd be boring. He does have one major flaw that makes his character grounded. Sure, he does have some insightful things to say about life, but he can be gullible. This is Mufasa's downfall. He's not the brightest bulb in the box, and the film knows it.
Well, as far as brains go, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool.
When Scar tricks Mufasa into heading into the stampede, Mufasa isn't thinking with his head but his heart. He trusts Scar because he's family, even though he knows that he's trouble. He means well, but doesn't put logic before emotion. And while we might facepalm at him for falling for the obviously evil Scar, there's something endearing about his forgiving nature towards his black sheep of a brother. Although, while I love the father-son story from Mufasa and Simba, I do wish that Simba's mother Sarabi got a bit more attention. She gets very little screen time, meaning that we don't get to see much development for her personality or bond with Simba. I do feel as if that she could have been further fleshed out to add more weight to the story. Nala grows up as Simba's best friend, but when they reunite, they start a romantic relationship. Nala serves as an important role in the movie. Her venture into Timon and Pumbaa's jungle is what makes Simba confront his past and become more aware of the damage caused by Scar. She's far more than just Simba's love interest. She's a symbol of Simba's childhood and a voice of reason to disrupt Simba's carefree lifestyle. Timon and Pumbaa are the movie's comic relief characters. Timon is neurotic and pedantic, while Pumbaa is happy-go-lucky and dim-witted. I will admit that their introduction disturbs the movie's pacing, as they first appear straight after Mufasa's death, meaning that Simba isn't given enough time to grieve, and the tone drastically shifts from somber to comical. However, I do see these two as very important characters to the story. One of the most vital qualities to have as a leader is a sense of down-to-earth calmness, a positive trait that helps a king stay cool while under pressure. Timon and Pumbaa raise Simba to be a lion who can embrace life without worrying too much, which will help him to become a level-headed leader one day. Some people find these two to be annoying, but I see them as awesome foster parents with funny contrasting personalities. Zazu serves as the king's major domo, a by-the-books bird who takes his job very seriously. What I like about him is that he's so passionate about his role in the kingdom. He respects his culture's traditions, believes in the responsibilities held by royalty, and genuinely cares about the kind of kingdom Simba will create one day. He's a sincere and hard-working royal assistant. Rafiki is my favourite character in the film. I love him so much. Whenever he's on screen, I get giddy and have a huge smile on my face. He's a spiritual advisor for the kingdom, responsible for christening Simba at the start of the film. I really like that he has a genuine fondness for the royal family. He cares what happens to them and looks out for them. Rafiki's most important contribution to the film is helping Simba develop the courage to return home, giving him really thought-provoking lessons regarding accepting the loss of a loved one and facing the past. But what's great is that he dishes his wisdom with a tongue-in-cheek sense of humour, making him hilariously entertaining as well as insightful. The hyenas are Scar's minions, loyally willing to follow his lead in return for the promise of eventually reaping the benefits of Pride Rock's luxury. I like that they make for effective antagonists for Simba when he's younger. They retain a sense of menace, but they're also cheeky and silly, resulting in them being ideal villains for the little cub to face. It's also interesting seeing the darker side of the animal kingdom, showing that there are animals being oppressed by Mufasa's reign. Creatures that are seen as below Pride Rock and desire revenge for being outcasted. I'm going to give 4 points to the characters. Despite being loosely based on one of Shakespeare's plays, The Lion King doesn't try to look like it's set on a stage. Instead, it goes for sweeping cinematography and creative angles, but the character animation does have a very Shakespearean feel to it. These animals are very emotive and expressive, wearing their feelings loudly on their furry sleeves. Although it's not all highly theatrical acting, the characters are fully capable of engaging us with some restrained expressions and subtle gestures that help us read into their souls. Every supervising animator seems to be intensely immersed in their assigned characters, knowing them inside out to help convey their strong personalities and dramatic performances. A round of applause to Disney's crew for giving so much visceral emotion to these animals. I'm going to give 5 points to the animation. Jonathan Taylor Thomas voices young Simba, doing a good job capturing the spoilt and pampered attitude of the little cub, while also sounding cheerfully youthful at the same time.
Hey, Uncle Scar, guess what?
I despise guessing games.
I'm gonna be king of Pride Rock.
Oh, goody.
My dad just showed me the whole kingdom, and I'm gonna rule it all.
Matthew Broderick voices adult Simba, and I don't think it's very good casting. He does an okay job for the most part, but a lot of the time he is sounding a bit stilted, awkward, and insincere. It's just how he reads lines.
Come on, will you cut it out?
Can't cut it out. It'll go right back.
Creepy little monkey. Will you stop following me? Who are you?
The question is, who Are you?
I thought I knew. Now I'm not so sure.
Jeremy Irons' voice is Scar. He delivers his lines with acid tongue malice and campy spite, making him sound both threatening and fun.
Life's not fair, is it? You see, I shall never be king. And you shall never see the light of another day.
James Earl Jones voices Mufasa, using his booming deep voice to give a regal majesty to his royal badass character.
Simba, I'm very disappointed in you.
I know.
You could have been killed. You deliberately disobeyed me. And what's worse, you put Nala in danger.
I was just trying to be brave like you.
I'm only brave when I have to be. Simba, being brave doesn't mean you go looking for trouble.
Moira Kelly voices Nala, showcasing a solid balance of stern strength and sweet sincerity.
We've really needed you at home.
No one needs me.
Yes, we do. You're the king.
Nala, we've been through this. I'm not the king. Scar is.
Nathan Lane voices Timon, giving a funny, panicky performance that suits his character's neurotic personality.
He's so cute and all alone. Can we keep him?
Pumbaa, are you nuts? You're talking about a lion. Lions eat guys like us.
But he's so little.
He's gonna get bigger.
Maybe he'll be on our side.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Maybe he'll be... Hey, I've got it. What if he's on our side? You know, having a lion around might not be such a bad idea.
Ernie Sabella voices Pumbaa, sounding pleasantly jovial but also a little dopey. It's a lovely, charming voice.
Ever wonder what those sparkly dots are up there?
Pumbaa, I don't wonder. I know.
Oh, what are they?
They're fireflies. Fireflies that got stuck up in that big bluish black thing.
Oh, gee. I always thought they were balls of gas burning billions of miles away.
Rowan Atkinson is very formal and posh as Zazu, perfectly fitting his character's uptight seriousness.
I wonder if its brains are still in there. There's only one way to know. Come on, let's go check it out.
The only checking out you will do would be to check out of here.
Man.
We're way beyond the boundary of the Pride Lands.
Look, Banana Beak is scared.
It's Mr. Banana Beak to you, Fuzzy, and right now we are all in very real danger.
Robert Guillaume voices Rafiki, playing the part with a jolly Caribbean accent. He's hilarious when reading Rafiki's bonkers lines, but he knows when to tone it down for serious scenes.
I know what I have to do, but going back means I'll have to face my past. I've been running from it for so long. Ow! Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Ah, you see?
Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin, and Jim Cummings voice Scar's hyenas. They all embrace their characters' cartoony personalities superbly well.
Well, Banzai, what have we got here?
I don't know, Shenzi. What do you think, Ed?
Yeah, just what I was thinking. A trio of trespassers.
I'm going to give 4 points to the voice acting. Like I said earlier on in this review, The Lion King likes to frame everything with a grandiose scale, and the music score is no exception. Powerfully dramatic scenes are heightened by Zimmer's theatrical orchestral pieces and LeBohem's majestic choir. The tribal influences on the score also capture the atmosphere of African wildlife gracefully well. You can really feel the energy of the savannah thanks to this movie's score. Now, this movie is also a musical, with each song being penned by Elton John and Tim Rice. So I'm going to discuss my thoughts on each and every track. Starting with the opening number, The Circle of Life, a song that slowly builds from quiet and ominous to magnificently glorious, effectively getting us hyped up for the lion's royal ceremony. The mighty pounding drums and LeBohem's triumphant vocals support the weight of the song all the way. The whole number helps to set the tone for the movie ahead and truly shows how important Simba's christening is. The special edition DVD for The Lion King included a song originally cut from the movie, called The Morning Report, and I really hate it! In this song, Zazu announces news to Mufasa while Simba chases a gopher. What was once a quiet and touching scene dedicated entirely to Simba and Mufasa bonding over pouncing practice becomes an annoyingly hyperactive and very unnecessary musical number, with poor focus, clumsy direction, cringy animal pun lyrics, and obnoxious character animation. We didn't need this song. Zazu was already giving a morning report in the theatrical cut. Making him sing it while Simba is distracted by a gopher is beyond gratuitous. Seeing the morning report fully animated on screen just proves why the original filmmakers cut it in the first place. It's more than obvious that the song was forced into the special edition DVD to justify a money-making re-release, and not because it was required. Fuck you, Disney. Then there's I Can't Wait to Be King, young Simba's song about his excitement over becoming the king one day. The song warms itself into the scene very smoothly, and I love how a big thumping drum kickstarts it. The song's colourful sounds and visuals help to illustrate how naively childish Simba is being, while also brilliantly contrasting against the dark, realistic tone of the movie later on. Plus, Zazu's bickering interruptions during the number superbly develop the dynamic between the prince and the major domo. Be Prepared is Scar's villain song, and it is awesome. The ominous humming, sinister music, and menacing vocals from Scar make this one fun, dark song. Interestingly, Jeremy Irons only sings half the song himself. He broke his voice halfway through, and voice actor Jim Cummings, who played Ed the Hyena, stepped in to finish it. You honestly can't tell the difference. That's how amazing Cummings is. The visuals are also fantastic too, an effectively threatening mix of acid green, hellish red, and creepy Third Reich style imagery. Then there's Hakuna Matata, Timon and Pumbaa's song about their motto, which means no worries. While the song does disrupt the pacing of the film and feels jarring compared to the previously somber death scene, I still really like it. It's very uplifting, colourful, and energetic. Many people find it annoying, but I honestly find it to be charmingly catchy. Finally, the last musical number in the film is Can You Feel the Love Tonight, a romantic ballad for Nala and Simba. I have to admit that this is my least favourite song in the original theatrical cut. Sure, it's good at illustrating Nala and Simba's feelings for each other, but I just find it too soppy and cheesy. Don't get me wrong, the lyrics are great, but the music and backing vocals make the song sound like it's trying too hard to tug heartstrings. I'm going to give 4 points to the music. To conclude, The Lion King is a majestically grandiose and emotionally powerful film. Do I think it's overrated though? Well, a little bit. But I think that most acclaimed Disney animated films have been hyped up a bit too much. I still believe the film deserves lots of praise. The Lion King has gained 21 points, which translates to 4 1/4 roaring strawberries out of 5. If you enjoyed the work of William Shakespeare and DreamWorks' The Prince of Egypt, then I think you'll get a lot out of The Lion King. You may have noticed that new episodes of Jambareeqi Reviews have included awesome, cool graphics. These graphics were created by a company called ToonGrin, and if you'd like to request a commission from them, here is their website. It's also my 5th anniversary on YouTube this October, and I'm planning a very special countdown that will be decided by all of you. If you're interested in taking part in this countdown project, then click on the link below in the description box. So, what am I going to be reviewing for the next episode of Jambareeqi Reviews? Well, once again, a strange package has been delivered to my house. This time, it's come in the form of a dark black box. I have no idea who it's from. My only clue was an odd E on the top. But I'm guessing this is another request, so let's find out what's inside and see what I'll be reviewing next. Huh. It's a cute squirrel movie. This is gonna be fun. Cheerio, folks.